Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead. So this is going to be from the 16th to the 22nd of December 2024. If you want to book your 2025, it's on the website. There is also love reads, career reads, but 225 is the big one right now. And there's deep coaching, and you can book a face-to-face comment section or under the video. Like the video and comment, okay? So let's see what's coming up this week for you. What is the energy surrounding Capricorn? Let's get a shuffle. So we got Temperance reversed. So Temperance reversed is not good. It can be someone who's under a lot of stress. Maybe it's just the Christmas season. It can be a very busy time of the year for a lot of people, especially if you've got a lot of family. There's a lot of pressure to get certain things arranged. It can be a lot of pressure. So some of you need to take care of your stress. Take moments to just breathe, right? It's like I have to do it sometimes where I'm like, Lisa, just breathe. Because I'm like very fast paced, I'm very like hyper. So yeah, some of you might need to just take moments to breathe this week. Some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius who's causing stress, or you're dealing with someone who's causing stress. So if the stress is self-induced, you have the power to say, you know what? Let's breathe. We've got a lot going on. I've got a lot to organise. It could be a job, it could be events, especially if that's your job, or it could be within yourself. But you can take moments to take 10 minutes to meditate, to sit in the fresh air, to go for a walk, or to take deep breaths, you know? So I was talking to a girl the other week and she was like, oh, and I said, breathe, right? And she looked at me like, but that's it, like, you know, maybe you need to say this to people in your life, like people are very overwhelmed, and I think you can be so constructive when you're like, it's okay, you got this, like even just like pep talks or like breathe and stuff like that. You can be so good with this, so you could be helping people in your life who are stressed and struggling, or this could be you. But there's a message to relax. Some of you, it's money. So what I'm getting here is you've got a lot of outgoings. You might want to, you're worried about gifts, you're worried about expenses. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Some of you, it's a job. So some of you have got a job that you can't lose, but it's a very, very stressful job. Okay, so this is a job where you've got to really have your best foot forward because you can't lose it, but it's also a high stress job. Okay. Okay, so again, some of you this week, you're definitely in something you shouldn't be in, or you're not looking after yourself here. That's what I'm getting. Work could be taking over your life, right? I'm getting it as that somebody's in a job that they really hate, but they're scared to lose it. Five of Swords. So for you this week, you're not coming up in the best place, right? Money is definitely a factor. Some of you are feeling a bit bitter, you're feeling a bit resentful because you kind of feel like you haven't got what you want. Maybe with it being Christmas season, you're seeing people out there, the shopping, you know, and there can be a sense of like, why have they got it and I haven't? Choices. And also you don't know other people's life, you don't know why they've got it. They could be doing anything. Some of it might be fair and square, some of them are making smart choices, some of them it could be anything that's getting them there. It could be credit card debt, it could be overdraft debt, it could be so many things. So be careful this week with glorifying other people's lives. Maybe you're seeing people in relationships, maybe you're seeing certain things, but remember what humans do. They tend to glamorize other people through rose-tinted glasses, right? So, but some of your money is definitely an issue, or stability. So if you're someone who's sitting there and you've got money, then it's about making life more than money. Money is one element of happiness, it's one part of happiness, but the Empress reversed with the Ace of Pentacles reversed is all about things that money can't buy. Good people, good for, you know, that type of stuff, right? But some of you, it's definitely to do with you're feeling pretty pissed off. Maybe your boss does not give you time off for Christmas, maybe you've got shit hours. You know, I feel like this is about not allowing yourself to not enjoy the Christmas, no matter what your financial means are, no matter what your schedule is, no matter what your job is, you are going to find a way to make it work. This is getting creative with how you spend your money, getting creative with bargains, coupons, whatever. right? Some of you are kind of a bit of a downer right now, Five of Swords. If it's not you, it could be other people. So this is where you go to certain friends and family, and these people are throwing salt and they're throwing evil eye your way because you're successful and they're not. We just said this to Aquarius, so be careful if you're dealing with an Aquarius. It can also be people who in Christmas, because you've got the money, they expect you to foot the bill. Now, I'm not saying obviously if you've got money and other people haven't, then be generous, but you should get the choice to be generous, not feel like you have to be, not feel manipulated, not feel like forced, like, you know. So it could all be people feel this way about you, and you might be feeling that energy being sent your way. So people who are jealous and bitter because you're successful, you're in a good place, you know, and so these people say little snarky remarks and little things to piss you off or whatever. Two of Pentacles. I feel like some years it's balancing your work with play. So in other words, it's keeping on track, it's showing up to your job, but it's also going out and socialising and enjoying the season. Okay, Two of Pentacles with the Six of Wands. You know, years ago, if we got put into work on Christmas or if we got put into work on New Year, it looks like it's a 48-hour stretch with no sleep, but we're not giving up our Christmas, we're not giving up our playtime for some job that we might not be in a year. You know? So, listen, if it's hangover, it's hangover. If it's no sleep, it's no sleep. But listen, we're going to work, we're going to play. You know? Because, like, obviously I understand, like, Capricorns are very practical people. It can be hard for you to let go of control, but it's really about what matters, okay? You need to, this is where you're holding on to money, but really you should be being more generous. You should be spending money. You should be enjoying the season. I'm not saying be extravagant and over the top, but life is for living. You're not taking the money with you. So that guy who was the richest man in the world, so it was called, I forget what the movie was, but he was very rich and he would never spend money, even at Christmas. He was a Capricorn. So I think some of you Capricorns, like, you're sitting there and maybe money is what you've got, but some of your money is all you've got. You know? And yes, some motherfuckers don't like you because they just see it as all about yourself, a show off. You're always stingy. You know? I've dealt with some Capricorns where they'll let you pay, but they'll never pay for a meal. It's just stingy. Like you know, so I do think some Capricorns can be like, they haven't got a scarcity mindset when it comes to themselves, but they've definitely got a scarcity mindset with other people, and they don't mind taking, but you won't see them giving. So some of you might be dealing with people who don't want to be around you, and it's something to do with money, the way you handle money, or if you're generous to people or not generous, right? Some Capricorns are very generous people. And so there's also the flip side of that coin, which is be careful with people who are just in it for the money. They don't really care about you. They're just coming to see you because it's a gift, or it's money, or it's you'll pay for the night out, or whatever it may be. So don't let people use you, but also know that if people don't want to be around you, it might be because they feel like you use them. Now, for the Capricorns who get mad in the comments section, bitch, it ain't my problem. Like, if you feel this fits, it's your shoe. Don't start projecting on me. Okay? For Capricorns who are generous people, you don't get offended because it's like, I know who I am and I know what I do and I know what I don't do, and it's not offensive because I don't do it. But this week I feel like what I'm seeing is a person who's struggling with workload, a person who's struggling with seeing family, seeing friends, joining events, money, work schedule. But remember what I've just said to you, right? Like, this is a job you probably won't remember in the future, especially if it's some basic job. In other words, it's not a career, it's not something you've got to hold on to. So just remember that your Christmases you're never going to forget, your family time you're never going to forget. Those are things you can't buy back. Money you can get back, a job you can get back, right? Some of you, this might be a serious profession, so you have to show up in a serious manner. But I think it's all about, okay, let's show up in a serious manner, and then let's go to the club, let's go to the party, let's go spend the money, let's go and eat the food. Like, you know, you can sleep when you're dead, Capricorn. You can sleep when you're dead. So some of you is like, no matter how tired you are, extra cup of coffee. We're gonna, this is where you put on your work suit, and then underneath there's a tight little number, and you're going to enjoy the time because, So find ways to make it work. Even if you haven't got much money, remember it's the thought that counts, and the people who don't appreciate it, fuck those people. So right now, some of you, you're not in the best place, right, financially, and this might be making you not really want to connect with people, but the people who really care about you, care about the effort, your time, showing up, they don't care about what they can get. And for those people who do, fuck them people, okay? Right, let's see what else is coming up here. But I think it's all about, and some of you, it's a job, like you've got to really think about next year, and you've got to think about something better, because this is about getting a plan for 2025. Because right now you're in this is like hand to mouth, this is like week to week, this is month to month. You really want to build abundance, you really want to do something you love, and it's not going to be in this place. Okay, but some of you need to get out the bitter mindset. You need to get out the entitlement mindset, right? Like, no one owes you shit. And I think some of you need to put people in your life in the place this season. I don't owe you anything just because I did well and you didn't. I don't owe you my time. I don't owe you my money. I don't owe you anything. How dare you have the audacity to get mad because you think I owe you something? That's a problem with the current generation. They're so fucking entitled. I don't owe you a response. I don't owe you money. I don't owe you nothing. Right? I'm not saying walk around with an attitude problem, but I'm saying if people are acting entitled, don't be afraid to like really let them have it, okay? The other side of the coin is some of you are sitting there and you're bitter about what other people have got. Life owes you nothing. Life owes you what you work for, what you invest in, like what you show up for. Right? So if love is what you want, then it's time to show up and dress up and get out there and earn it. If career, if money, it's time to get out there and earn it, right? Okay? Someone's kind of losing it a little bit here, So some of you might need to put other people in the place this week, or some of you might need to have that pep talk with yourself, which is like, we know that we're clinging to our comfort zone, that we're holding on to our comfort zone. So the dream life that we want is not coming. Because for me to get this dream life, I've got to invest, I've got to take risks, I've got to put the energy and I've got to put the work in, right? Okay? You've got to, instead of being bitter and jealous by other people's successes, you've got to look at what they do and do what they do, or an element of what they do to get you the abundance, the happiness, the love, the connections you want, right? So I think there's a sense of not getting bitter, getting better. The other side of the coin is if it's evil eye or dark energy that's being sent through toxic family, toxic friends, bitch, not my problem. I showed up, I worked for it, I did the work, I made smart choices, you didn't. Not my problem. I think a lot of people are out here taking on other people's Five of Swords, other people's shadow, other people's toxicity, other people's hatred. Bitch, not my problem. The other side of the coin is it is the season to show compassion, and there is some people who are genuinely struggling, and your job, if you are in a good place, is to show up. Maybe you've got a sister or an aunt and she can't really provide for the kids, and you've got a bit of money and you can kind of help, and why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? That's what love is, that's what family is, right? I think Capricorn's job this week is to be discerning, to be objective with other people and with themselves. Okay? So to be objective and to say, am I being generous enough? Am I, instead of me sitting here watching other people's lives, like, am I doing the work for connection? Am I doing the work for love? Am I doing, so some of you are sitting here, you're gossiping, you're bitter, right? But you're not sitting around, you're actually stopping yourself from having the connection, from having the love, because you're not investing in that area. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in money, but you're not investing in love and connection. People just don't understand this, right? Life is an investment game. If you want true connection, you need to put the energy into people, you need to put the time into them, you need to be there for them. If you want love, you've got to show up and do the dates and do the hard stuff so that love can come into your life. Okay? So whatever you're feeling bitter and resentful towards this week, if you're trapped in a job where you can't dictate your hours, Capricorn, that it's because you didn't build your own independent thing that can give you freedom to dictate your hours and your choices. You can either get bitter, you can project, deflect, or you can get better. You can say, right, this time next year I'm going to be in my own company, in other words, a better company, or I'm going to be in my own business where I can dictate what I do at this season. I'll have money to spend, I'll be able to be with my family, I'll be able to travel. Some years it could be, for example, like you've got family but you can't see them because they're in another place and it's kind of hurting you. But life is an investment, right? A lot of us, we make bad investments, we make bad choices. We're too given, we're not given enough, we put our time too much in one area, we don't put our time in other areas, and that's it. Life is a choice game, right? People make bad choices and then they get mad about the choices that they've made, right? And then because they've got to own the choices that they've made, the only thing they can do is get mad at other people, because getting mad at themselves is too hard. If I blame everyone else, I won't have to look in the fucking mirror. 2025 belongs to the gangsters. 2025 belongs to the people who take accountability for who they're invested in, how they're using the time, how they're using their energy, for where they are in life. So it could be, like I said, for Capricorn, you're getting this sent your way by friends, family, people around you, maybe on the internet if you've done well, because I do think some of you are this. But I would just be like, your bitterness and your saltiness is not my problem. Don't feel bad. As long as you know who you are as a person, which is a good person, a generous person, you're doing your best, you're not just a selfish person who's all about yourself. Because if you're the person right now who's just giving nothing to nobody and you're just feeding yourself up, then you kind of are a piece of shit. That's not a nice person. People who just live for themselves are not nice people. There's nothing wrong with protecting your interest and being about yourself and loving yourself, but there's also an element of like it can get too toxic, But if you're a person who's sitting there going, no, actually, I do my charity work, I'm helping people, I'm being a decent person, and people are just bitter because I've got what I've got because I work for it, well, I wouldn't carry that energy, I wouldn't feel bad for them. Friends, family, little snarky remarks that you might receive over the Christmas, I wouldn't care. Dress in your best dresses, enjoy the season, spend your money, you've earned it, live life. Okay? But some years I think it's also about, I feel like right now, like some years like I've got to work or I've got a lot of workload on. Yeah, but family time and Christmas, I've been saying this to a lot of people, you never know when your last Christmas is, and even if it's not your last Christmas, it could be someone else's last Christmas. We take life far too much for granted. We take people far too much for granted. I know it can be inconvenient when you're pressed, when you've got a busy schedule, when you've got a lot going on, but that's going to be the shit that turns you inside out, that chains at you in the future if you don't show up to the right people, the right places, and really enjoy the season. Okay? So I think some years it's all about balancing family time with work time. It's all about some years, spending money, some years reining it in, finding balance between what you spend, what you save. Okay? Some years are just in, like I said, some job that you're kind of just doing for now while you figure out life. Okay, well, don't fuck up your year, don't fuck up your season because you're trying to hold on to some shit job you can replace. You need to trust yourself, right? And like I said, I'm a millennial girl, so listen, how it was for us is if we got shit hours in a shit job, we were out, it was, you would go and party, and then you would go to work at 7. You finished the club at 5 and you'd go to work at 7. And that was just how it was. There was none of this pussy ass moaning or saying, I've got to be none of this, And that's it, so find a way to make it work. That's the message. But some of you are being told, like, really enjoy the season. Don't be too stingy. It's okay to, like, spend a bit of money and, like, you'll build it back, right? But memories you can't build back. Be generous. And I think another message similar to Aquarius is know the company to keep this week. I do think some people just make you feel like shit about yourself, like they're just not good people to be around. So I feel like the message here is just, even if you have to keep to yourself and enjoy your own company, then Your company is better company than being around toxic people who are just bad energy, who are going to get inside your head and make you feel like shit about yourself. Okay, but I think it's a week of work hard, balance your work with your play, go see friends, go see family. If you want the bag, buy it. Don't be extravagant. Some of you might be being extravagant, and with the money cards coming up reversed, maybe now's the time to not be extravagant, to prioritise what matters, which is safety, security, the basic needs, not trying to show off with money that you haven't got. Okay, so some of you that it's the reverse, which is to protect yourself by not spending money you haven't got. Okay, but I really feel like a message for some of you is a strong message for most Capricorns. Some of you are doing really well, and it's really about just being around people who appreciate you, they're grateful, they're not exploiting you for money, they genuinely care about you, being generous to people, because when you're in this as an empress, you're a mother of the world, so your job is to support people in genuine need, because God expects that of you, because this is a woman of God. She does God's mission. So this is helping people, supporting people, raising funds, food banks, help, just being a good person. And some of you, this is who you're going to become in a year. Because I feel like some of you right now, like you're in some dead-end job, you don't really get that much money, you're just not in a great place, and it's like, no, and I think this is also with the God coming up. It's like you're reconnecting with yourself, you're reconnecting with your mission, you want to live life, you want to thrive, you don't want to be trapped in some job with the bare minimum, never having the money to buy what you want, never being able to support people around you. So some of you Capricorns are thinking hard about what your mission is in earth, and what you're here for, and happiness and abundance and connection. And because some of you, you're coming up reversed. So right now you're not your best version, but remember, you can always recreate yourself. And I think that that's what you need to do. You need to think about not your current version, not your current circumstances, but the version you're creating. And remember, when we get trapped in a life of poverty, loneliness, low means, it can be two things. We can get bitter and accept our fate and complain till our death, or we can get better and say, okay, by being in this, it's telling me this is not what I want, and I actually want to do the work to get to this. So use the people around you who are winning at life to be inspired by, rather than resentful of, because they show you that it can be done. They show you can find love, you can have amazing connections, you can have money, you can build your dream life, like it's there. Some of you need to do a mood board for 2025. Start joining networks, start joining groups, start thinking about how you can build your best version for 2025. Get inspired. Some of you right now, you're tired, but it's about getting inspired by 2025. Thank you for this, because this is just temporary, because I know what's coming, and it looks like this. Love, happiness, connection, being able to serve people, being able to help myself, being able to have what I want. But some of you's going to have to change your mindset, definitely. If you want to book a personal, it's in the description or the comment section. I'll speak to you soon.